Hello, my name is Ravyn LaRue. I know you think it's Catherine Turvis because it is, but Ravyn LaRue is in fact my pen name. And the reason I happen to have a pen name is because I really do adore writing. It's been a passion of mine since the age of 8, and that was mostly because of reading Tale of Despero by Kate DiCamillo and just the pure veneration of books. It's just wonderful, and I love it. I have one book that I wrote thus far. It's called Sophie Browne Isn't Dead. When I wrote it, I was 15 years old, and I wrote it the summer before last. It took me about 5 months approximately to write, and illustrate, and publish, and it's kind of difficult to explain the plot, but in a nutshell, it's about a girl named Sophie whose brother dies, and she has a hard time making friends, so instead she comes up with ghostly, dead, and paranormal imaginary friends. To be honest, it's semi-autobiographical, which means that I stole a bunch of situations from my life and added them to Sophie's identity. Things such as the dead brother, social difficulty, and the way she finds resolution. The negative things made me who I am, so I really don't mind them, I suppose. Let's see here. SPCPA, teachers, and the friends I made have inspired me to follow through with writing this, and somehow I succeeded in publishing. I owe that to my mom and to my literary agent, Shauna. I published it through a publisher called LaRue, which is run by a combination of Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. Although it was published over a year ago, it's still very new to me, and when people ask me to introduce myself, after I say my name and all of the pleasantries, I say, well, I made a book. At the moment, I'm at the nitpicky stage that a lot of other artists go through. My main concern is the fact that since I drew it myself, a lot of the anatomy of the illustrations are off, but I really don't mind. That isn't the worst thing, especially considering the fact that I needed to illustrate it myself. Otherwise, I would be far too persnickety and pedantic to let anyone else have any creative freedom. I would just yell at them and tell them to do it the way that I want it, so I might as well do it myself. I regret nothing about publishing it, even though a lot of people, such as middle school teachers and a lot of my family members, said that I would, since I'm only an amateur. I would never regret something that brought me closer to my friends and helped me meet new ones. One such new friend that I was able to meet through writing this book and through publishing it was my good friend Sebastian, who lives in Belfast, Ireland. He contacted me because his sister and cousin read Sophie Browne, and they really liked it. I was very proud when he told me that, and even prouder when he said that his cousin insisted on becoming a Sophie Browne as her Halloween costume. Oh, it was so wonderful when he told me that. And eventually when he sent me the pictures, oh, it was so cute. Let's see here. There happens to actually be much debate over whether or not it's for kids or not. But seeing that I was the kind of kid who watched The Nightmare Before Christmas every day, literally, I would have liked it as a child, most certainly. And the thing is that it does deal with real topics, such as death and bullying. People are very sensitive among those sorts of things, so it is sort of understandable as to why there's controversy surrounding it. But if I tried to appeal to everyone, it would be pandering and not as heartfelt, in all honesty. I actually did art crawl with it last autumn, and will again this upcoming spring. And since it is Valentine's Day, I made a bunch of Sophie Browne Valentines. And right now, I'm actually wearing my Sophie Browne Isn't Dead bracelet, and the reason I call it that, and refer to it as that, is because in the illustrations, in almost every one, I think there's one or two that doesn't have it, but most of them have her wearing both a pearl necklace, which I do not have myself, but also a little purple bracelet, which I do have, which is what I am wearing. So in those sort of ways, the project is rather ongoing for me. And I do have a lot of other stories that I want to get going, but at the moment they're just germinating in my head. And in conclusion, it's an enormous part of my identity. It helped me become closer to my friends and helped me meet new people, express myself, and tell my story. Which reminds me of a quote from the book itself. So, my dear, I leave you with this advice. Be yourself and always be nice. Because if you're looking for a friend, that is what they'll first comprehend. But you may ask me, so, how do you know? Well, I'm Sophie Browne, and I told you so. Thank you for listening.